Welcome to the second and final lecture of this short section highlighting some other more traditional strategies. In this lecture, I'm going to touch on technical analysis with you. So let's dive into that and cover it now. Before I go over how technical analysis is used and how you can potentially use it with cryptocurrency trading, I want to make sure that you're aware of what it actually is beyond surface level. So what is technical analysis? Well, technical analysis is a strategy whereby traders evaluate past trends, trading activity and other factors, then aim to predict their future movement from there. As you can tell right away, it's different from fundamental analysis, where you're trying to evaluate the core value of the investment in question. So the key here is to remember that the technical analysis strategy relies on the analysis of charts, historical data, and that sort of information, which is then used to forecast ahead. So that's what technical analysis actually is, and basically what it's used for. As mentioned, you can tell straight away that it's different from the fundamental analysis in terms of its approach. Now, before I end, I want to touch on the three assumptions that are placed upon the technical analysis strategy. They kind of sum up this strategy very well. So the first assumption that is placed upon technical analysis is that the market discounts everything as a whole. By that I mean traders who follow this strategy believe the value of the specific investment in question already has the fundamental analysis factors factored in. This assumption hones in on the fact, from this point of view anyway, that the only thing that needs to be paid attention to is the analysis of price movements, which technical analysts view as the product of supply and demand for the investment in question, whether it's a stock, a cryptocurrency, and so on. Moving on to the second assumption now for the technical analysis strategy, and that is prices move in trends. So when traders follow this strategy, they have this theory that prices move in short, medium, and or long-term trends. It links to kind of market psychology, where the price will continue along the lines of a past trend over just surprising the entire market. Now, this is true with more traditional investments, such as Forex. But when it comes to cryptocurrencies, it's slightly different as it's a lot more volatile. We're seeing trends being broken all the time, so this is something to bear in mind. But remember, we're in this crypto market, which is still very new, so it's making its own path and setting its own rules. But the core principles of trading do apply. And finally, we have the third assumption, which actually links to a point that I just mentioned, and that's history does repeat itself most of the time. You've just got to be around long enough to see it, and most importantly, be looking to see it so you don't miss it. So yeah, with this technical analysis, traders that follow it believe very much that history tends to repeat itself. It's based on human and market psychology, which is a subject that I suggest a lot of you dive into, especially if you want to take your trading to the next level. You'd be surprised at how predictable people are in markets. And this is a pattern that repeats itself. Now, that's the end of this lecture, and in fact this section. I just wanted to quickly cover at surface level what these other two more traditional strategies are. So if they gauge your interest, you can learn more about these. But we've covered the strategies, that the cryptocurrency specific strategies anyway, earlier with Rebecca. So they're the key strategies that I suggest you follow for cryptocurrency trading. And like I said, it's strategies that are proven, that Rebecca has used for her trading as well as myself. So those were the cryptocurrency specific strategies. And as you'll notice from them, they also factor in elements of this strategy that we've just talked about and the fundamental strategy that I talked about in the previous section. But as your journey progresses, you may wish to divulge into these other strategies which are worth looking into. Now, a good site for these more traditional strategies is Investopedia. It's got a wealth of knowledge on this site. But that's everything here. See you in the next section.